So welcome. Really nice to see you again, John. Elaine, let's have a look at today's email with our daily quotes. And there'll be a bit of teaching around that. That should lead us nicely into today's lesson, which is the first of a series of 10 review lessons we're in again. So let me share my screen with you. And John, if you can kick it off for us, that would be wonderful. So yeah, John, if you can read that pretty short quote from Anton Chekhov,
You,
kindly.
you, you must trust and believe in people, or life becomes impossible.
Yeah, so this is renowned Russian playwright and short story writer Anton Chekhov. He talks about the impossibility of life without trusting other people. So if you pause for a moment to consider this proposition, you'll see the truth of what he wrote. All cooperation depends on a degree of trust between the people cooperating, right? So I'm in the commodities business and my other professional life, and this is exactly how it works. Without trust, you'll never get a deal to work. It's as simple as that. It'll never work. May as well just walk away. They only work when there's trust, and of course that's the issue. There's a lack of trust with the ego, so the ego will never make anything work because it doesn't trust. Fundamentally, it distrusts everyone because it's not real. So without any trust, there would be no ability to cooperate, and life would lose its collective dimension, which is best explained in the integral model we studied in the Art of Letting Go course. Thought this presents a good opportunity to review it. If you have a look at integral model there, saying your internal thoughts, emotions, memory, states of mind, and immediate sensations create the apparent external reality of an objective world and a material body, including a brain, anything you can see, feel, touch, taste, or smell in time and space. So this internal self that trusts then reflects in the external as loving relationships, as connections, networking, as in a business sense, as I was talking, as things happening, a deal happening, product moving, and business is fueled by trust. Without trust, nothing happens. It requires two parties to agree and trust each other that the one will fulfill. Typically one buys, one's a buyer, one's a seller. There has to be a degree of trust for that transaction to happen. So nothing happens without a degree of trust. And if there were no trust, then nothing on this collective level could ever work. The systems, the networks, the technology, the government, everything that we call a collective system could not work if there's not a degree of trust. Right. So trust is really the foundation of our entire society. Without that, there would be no collective dimension. There'd be no ability to cooperate with others of other human beings or even other life, and think about a world where we're all just completely on our own and working for ourselves. How could that possibly work? And yet that is what the ego proposes as an alternative to the thought system of the Holy Spirit, which says we are one, and therefore collaboration and communication and cooperation are the way. So if there were no trust, there would be no collective consciousness. The two lower quadrants shown in the diagram above would exist, right? So the collective dimension of we and its would simply fall away if there was only an individual self. So the collective points us to the fact that we are one, that we aren't alone, that we are integrally connected to everyone and everything else. And that shows up in the we, the intersubjective and the interobjective dimension of life in the model. So there would be no families without trust. There would be no families, organizations, or groups of any kind, because no relationships are possible between people without a degree of trust. None of the systems that allow us to cooperate with one another in society, legal, government, business systems, etc., that give a framework for the cooperative endeavors of people would exist either. So I don't think we really aware of how much, how important trust is. It's the foundation of our entire society and anything that seems to work in that society. So every species on this planet relies on a degree of cooperation and hence trust of other seeming individuals of its own species and often members of other species as well to survive and thrive. And there's some examples of that. So, example, plants cooperate with each other to form natural ecosystems in which they can thrive together. It's called these kinds of relationships are called symbiotic relationships. Different antelopes like zebra, wildebeest, and impala often move around together in herds in the African savanna. They do that for safety reasons to protect each other from predators. Oxpecker birds feed exclusively on the ticks. The antelopes have an abundance to sustain themselves. Again, they rely on another species to survive, and the herds are quite happy for them to do that because they need to have the ticks and the fleas pecked off them. So it's mutually beneficial. So therefore, human and indeed all life on Earth would be impossible if it weren't for the willingness to trust other seemingly separate individuals of one's own or another species. So as humans, it's also critical to our happiness. The Grant study that conducted over 80 years of research throughout the lives of 268 Harvard undergraduates starting in the early 1940s, another group from a poorer socioeconomic category concluded one thing, that happiness is love. Full stop. 80 years of research, millions of dollars, over $20 million of research over a long period of time, simply concluded, well, if you don't have love in your life, then you're not going to be happy. So the extent of your warm, loving relationships was the fundamental predictor of happiness. That's what the study found. So without trust, you can't have love. It starts with a trust and a respect. Without trust, there can be no love in any relationship. So if it's so critical, not just to our survival, but our well-being and happiness, we need to really ask ourselves how we can develop trust. Trusting others starts with trusting ourselves, which means we first have to know who we really are. Because if we're confused about that and you can't even trust ourselves, how is it possible to trust others? Completely logical. How do I start trusting myself and other people more? Well, the ancient advice, we look at the Temple of Apollo at Delphi in ancient Greece, echoed through the ages by every authentic spiritual teaching, which we call the perennial philosophy, comes immediately to mind as the answer, which is know thyself. So identifying with this self leads to more trust in others. And you see why that's the case. Because if you know that you are that self and they are also that self, then you have a natural trust and resonance because you're the same self. The ego says you're not the same self. They are separate from you and different from you, and therefore their interests are not your interests. And so then there's no trust. So you understand that the other person or people are really the same self, capital self, as you, trust becomes a very natural emotion in the world, inseparable from unconditional love that is its source. So we can look at the development of trust in the Course in Miracles, and you may find that helpful in terms of how this unfolds. Let's just have a look at development of trust quickly. So it's in the Manual for Teachers. And this is really the development of trust is the spiritual path. This is Yeshua's take on what this journey of awakening is. So it starts with a letting go, a period of undoing, where what you valued seems to be taken away. That's very common. Spiritual awakening, often people go through some kind of crisis. They've got to let go of everything they valued. And then they have to realize that actually none of it really matters. These changes are always helpful. You have to realize that it's always actually helping, even if you've lost so much of what you valued before. Then you have to sort it out. So you have to realize what's valuable and what's valueless. He says it takes great learning to understand that all things, events, encounters, and circumstances are helpful. It's the same lesson as the first one, but I realize that it's all helpful no matter what seems to happen. It's only to the extent to which they are helpful that any degree of reality should be accorded them in this world of illusion. The word value can apply to nothing else. And then we go into the third, which is a period of relinquishment, where we have to let go of the things that we previously valued. So the first three stages are really about letting go of everything we previously valued, and you settle down for a quiet time, period of respite and rest. Finally, penultimately a period of unsettling, where you have to realize that you really didn't know what was valuable and what was valueless, and you start having to apply the teachings to everything. So you realize the entire world is valueless. There's no meaning, there's no purpose in it, which can be quite a hard lesson. Saying, I must attain a state that may remain impossible to reach for a long, long time. Must learn to lay all judgments aside and ask only what he really wants in every circumstance. And he's saying you will get support. And then finally, a period of achievement, which is where you've let go of everything, you at peace, and nothing can really disturb your peace because you've mastered the art of letting go to such a high degree. And that would be what we call awakening or enlightenment, the awakened or enlightened masters who've walked the world like Yeshua and the Buddha attained this state, period of achievement. Okay, so that's just an outline of how this path of awakening goes. Any questions on that?
No, good.
Yeah, good.
Okay. There's a interesting TED talk there if you want to listen to that about why the Danes have consistently been the happiest of any nation. That leads us nicely into today's lesson. So let's jump into the lesson, and there's a introduction to it. So we'll have a look at that. Where are we? Lesson 201. Okay, so as I said, yeah, there's an introduction to it that just prepares us for what's to come in the next 10 lessons. All right, so to save time, I think the only translation here is God will become perfect love. So John, if you can read that to kick it off, just read in the alternative.
For this review, I take only one idea each day and practice it as often as possible. Besides the time I give morning and evening, which should not be less than 15 minutes, and the hourly remembrances I make throughout the day, I use the idea as often as I can between them. Each of these ideas alone is sufficient for awakening. I learn it truly. Each is enough to release me and the world from every form of bondage and invite the memory of perfect love back into my awareness.
Thoughts on that?
Well, I was just saying that if we actually got to the bottom of any of the themes that he mentions, we would let go of the world and merge with oneness.
Hmm. Yeah. Each of these ideas alone is sufficient for awakening. So each contains the whole truth. So that's how powerful one idea is. If you fully understand that and you live that truth every day, you would be awakened or enlightened. He's just given us many of these ideas because together they make a complete thought system. But each one on its own has the whole. It's like a hologram. So part of it, but it's also the whole. The whole truth is in each statement of the truth. That makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
So, Elaine, if you can read number 2, the only translation will be Holy Spirit will become remembrance of perfect love.
With this in mind, I start my practicing in which I carefully review the thoughts remembrance of perfect love has given me in my last 20 lessons. Each contains the whole curriculum, if understood, practiced, accepted, and applied to all the seeming happenings throughout the day. One is enough, but I will not make exceptions to that one. And so I need to use them all and let them blend into one, as each contributes to the whole I learn. So it's just asking us to practice reviewing our thoughts of remembrance of perfect love in the last 20 lessons, because each one contains the whole. So if understood, practiced and accepted and applied, they're saying one's enough, but it will not make exceptions to just that one. So we need to use all of them and let them all blend into one. So it's, as you say, part of the whole.
And blend into one as each contributes to the whole. I learned. So holistic. Use them all, let them blend into one as each contributes to the whole. So that's the genius of these lessons. It's each one contains the whole truth, but when you put them all together, it forms a comprehensive, complete thought system in our mind that becomes very, very strong, rock solid. So it gives us different ideas every day, different perspectives on the truth. So we can learn experientially that the truth is true and it's powerful and it's solid and it makes sense. And nothing contradicts each other. And one idea doesn't contradict another. It works together in one comprehensive thought system. All right. Happy with number 2. Let's go to number 3. So these practice periods, like the last review, are centered around a central theme with which I start and end each lesson. You want to take it from there, John?
I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created. The day begins and ends with this, and we repeat it every time the hour strikes, or we remember it in between. We have a function that transcends the world we see. Beyond this, and a repetition of the special thought we practice for the day, no form of exercise is urged, except a deep relinquishment of everything that clutters up the mind and makes it deaf to reason, sanity, and simple truth.
Yeah, and then just read the alternative. I'm not a body, I'm free. I'm still as.
I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as perfect love extends me.
Hmm. And so that's as God created me. Just contemplate God created me versus perfect love extends me. See how that works. Does that create a different understanding, a bit of a different perception, a different feeling for you? Those the change of words. God becomes perfect love, and created becomes extends. So perfect love as the source extends through me. It didn't create me because there was never a time that I didn't exist, right? This awareness is eternal. The idea of it created me lends itself to, well, there was a time when I was created. I didn't exist and then I was created. But that's not the truth, because what pre-existed all of that, there must have been something there. That presence beyond the body, beyond anything in this world is what this lesson is pointing to. So yeah, any thoughts on that? Perfect love extends me versus God created me. No, John, you muted. Elaine.
I know I'm good.
No, I think it makes sense. Yeah.
So there was no time when you were created. You have always been. If God is eternal, then you have always been. You've been one with this perfect loving awareness forever, for all time. No, not for all time, for eternity, which transcends time. So eternity doesn't mean for all time, it means beyond time, it means no time. It's important to realize that. So there's no created in eternity. That is created implies past and future, and something didn't exist and then came into existence, which is why I've dropped it and said, well, it just extends in the present tense. This perfect love extends my awareness, which is its own awareness right now, in every now moment, and it never can stop extending, because then all life would cease. It's not possible for it to do that. All right. So we'll attempt to get beyond all words. I think it's
Yeah. Just the
Elaine.
alternative, yeah. I will attempt to
Yeah.
go beyond all words and special forms of practicing for this review. For now, I attempt to reach a quickened pace along a shorter path to the serenity and peace of perfect love. I merely close my eyes and then forget all that I thought I knew and understood. For in this way, I will free myself from all I did not know and failed to understand. So it's just saying that we will attempt to go beyond all these words and special forms to practice the review. And this will quicken our pace to the path of peace. We will just close our eyes and forget all that we thought we knew and understood. And this will free ourselves from all I did not know and failed to understand. So,
Yeah, so it's kind of saying, let go of all the preconceived ways you even practice. Just be willing to contemplate these ideas, let all that go and see what happens. All right. Any other comments or questions on that? Number 5. John, if you can read that in the alternative kindly.
There is only one exception to this lack of structure. I will permit no false thought to go unchallenged. I notice one, I will deny its hold and hasten to assure my mind that this is not what it wants. Then I will think of the central idea I'm practicing that day quickly to help me gently let go of this false thought I do not want and exchange it for the idea for review that day and the experience it will bring.
Yeah, thoughts on that?
Well, it's just urging us to recognize any negative thought and counteract it with the theme of the day.
Yeah, much as I'm not a body, I'm free. It's particularly powerful. I like this lesson and this reminder. You could almost say this is a summary of the entire workbook. If nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God is a summary of the text. I'm not a body, I'm free, for I'm still as perfect love extends me as a summary of the workbook. Would you agree? You could choose this and say, this encapsulates really the whole teaching in the workbook. It's very much about, workbook's very much about practical application into your own life and your own perception. It starts with who you think you are. All right. Where are we? We done number 5?
Yeah, 6.
Yeah. No, number 6, yeah. I'm tempted to.
When I am tempted to enslave myself again, I hasten to proclaim my freedom from temptation as I say, I do not want this thought. Instead, I choose blank. And then I will repeat the idea for the day and let it take the place of what I thought before. Beyond such special applications of each day's idea, I will be contemplating such a few formal expressions or specific thoughts to help my practicing. Therefore, instead of reading many words in these practice periods, I give these times of quiet to the teacher who instructs in quiet, speaks of peace, and gives my thoughts whatever meaning they may have.
What's on that?
Well, when we're tempted to, oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Well, when we're tempted to enslave ourselves again, we quickly claim our freedom from this temptation and say, I do not want this thought, instead I choose. And just keep
That I'm not a
repeating it.
body.
Yeah.
That I
I'm not
choose,
a body.
not to be a body, to be free.
Yeah.
I'm still God's created or perfect love extends me.
Yeah.
If instead of reading many words, I just give these times of quiet to the teacher, instructs in quiet, speaks of peace and gives my thoughts whatever meaning they may have. So as we progress, we're now 200 odd days into this practice. You see how he's getting more experiential, saying less words, more experience. You don't need a lot of words. You just need like a simple pointer. I'm not a body. I am free, for I'm still as perfect love extends me, is a pointer into a state of mind. And by just contemplating those words in a focused way, you go into that state, and you don't need lots of you don't need lots of words to do that. So you'll find, and then this is preparation really for what happens in part 2 of the workbook, which kicks in at lesson 221, where they're very short. The lessons are very short. There's just 2 paragraphs, 1 or 2 paragraphs. And the idea is it's just to give you a point of focus to take you into more deeply into presence and into the actual experience of it. And so less and less emphasis on words, more emphasis on experience. That's what he's preparing us for in this review. Okay. Happy with that. And let's go into number 7. John, if you can read that.
I offer this review to the remembrance of perfect love. I surrender to its direction and let it teach me what to do, say, and think each time I turn to it. It will always be available to me each time I call to it to help me. So I offer it the whole review I now begin. And I will also not forget the loving presence to which it has been given as I practice day by day, advancing towards the goal it set for me, allowing it to teach me how to go and trusting it completely for the way each practice period can best become a loving gift, freedom to the world.
Yeah. Thoughts on that? So,
Well, they're saying how the doing of the lessons helps merge us with oneness and take us back to our real selves.
Yeah. Very comforting. Trusting it completely for the way each practice period can best become a loving gift of freedom to the world. As I say, practice, give the practice insights, whatever experience needs to come will come to you. And so we're starting to let go of trying to control our practice and our experience and just saying, well, show me. I'll just show up with an open mind and open heart in willingness to experience whatever the Holy Spirit has in store for me, and I give the practice period to it. That's what he's saying. You start letting go of the need to control them. All right. So any other thoughts on this? Just a nice review. Again, these reviews are just to prep us. It's a bit of coaching, saying this is where we are in the process. And this is not so much the content of practice, this is how to practice. These are all about the how to guide us for the next 10 lessons. And as I said, this is preparation for part 2 of the workbook, which becomes much shorter, much more experiential. Okay, so that's the review done. Let's look at the lessons, pretty short. And this one is lesson 201. This is the first of our series of review lessons. So we've got the key idea that kind of wraps. It's a sandwich idea. It's happened before in these reviews. The key idea, I'm not a body, I'm free. I'm still as God or perfect love created or extends me, wraps the main idea in like a sandwich. You say it before, you say it afterwards, you contemplate the main idea. And the main idea is kind of given context and framed and wrapped, if you like, in this profound statement of truth. It's either side of it. So yeah, can read let's just go in here. I'm not a body, I'm free. So someone read that in the original and alternative. Either one of you.
I am not a
Elaine?
body, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as perfect love extends me. I trust
Yeah.
my brothers who are one with me. I trust my companions who are one with me.
Yeah, so let's just pause and reflect on those ideas. I'm not a body, I'm free, I'm still as perfect love extends me. When you say that, you contemplate it as what do you feel? Is there any experience? It's asking us to pay attention to our internal experience when we're in the presence of these words which express the truth. And then key idea, original idea reviewed, lesson 181. Any thoughts on that, John or Elaine?
No, it's very merging, comforting, connected.
It's a particularly I find this one quite hard to apply. It's one of the more challenging lessons. I trust my brothers, my companions who are one with me. Okay, no exceptions to be made. I deal in commodities trading, investments. So a whole load of people who are not particularly trustworthy haven't seemed to frequent the industry. So then how do you apply this? I trust my companions who are one with me. And I guess that's the lesson. Even in that environment where there is so much underhanded, dodgy stuff going on, I still need to approach each person with a trust in my heart. Because if I automatically don't trust them, then I may as well not do it. Then I wouldn't even be in the industry. You see, if you can't trust anyone, then there's no point in even continuing. Whereas if you have fundamentally you trust, and then if you're shown otherwise, you might say, well, I'll walk away.
No, I'm good.
What's the truth?
Lane, I'll just mute you there. So I trust my companions who are one with me, even if they do something that isn't necessarily trustworthy. I think the lesson is you can still hold on to this oneness and still trust them on another level. Maybe you don't necessarily work with them or spend time with them, but on another level, you're saying, I trust everyone because of who they are. All right, any other thoughts on that? It's quite a nice one, which, as I said, can be quite challenging. And I think the lesson is just to apply it no matter what seems to happen, especially when you are tempted not to trust someone. That's when you can apply the lesson to correct it. All right, Elaine, any thoughts on that? I trust my brothers, I trust my companions who are one with me.
No, that makes sense.
You find this lesson challenging?
Well, it is, yeah. When you're getting about your normal day, yes. Can be.
How do you trust your companions when they behave difficult? They cause difficulty, and often there's a lot of insane behavior that goes on. How do you still trust them?
Yeah.
And the answer is you forgive or let go of your misperceptions of them, and then you can trust them.
Yeah.
All right, so Elaine, you can read that very short commentary. In fact, both of you read it. So, John, if you can read the original, and then by sentence, and then Elaine read the alternative below. That would be great.
No one but is my brother. I am blessed with oneness with the universe. Oh yeah.
Just one at a time, huh? Just one
No
sentence.
one but is my brother.
Everyone is my companion.
I am blessed with oneness with the universe and God, my Father, one creator of the whole that is myself, forever one with me.
I am blessed with oneness, with true reality and pure formless awareness of perfect love. My source, which is the only source of the whole that is myself, forever one with me.
Yeah, so this contrast, Elaine, maybe read that from the top. And the alternative.
Everyone is my companion. I am blessed with oneness, with true reality and pure formless awareness of perfect love, my source, which is the only source of the whole that is myself, forever one with me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Or alternatively, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as perfect love extends me.
Yeah, so thoughts on what you just read. Everyone's my companion. I'm blessed.
Well, yeah, it's a very nice idea. But it's practice.
Yeah, it is practice, but he's saying to us practice. And practice with us. Can you see how these ideas are related? You start, you lead in. So it's kind of the warm-up. I think of how you do sport. You warm up properly first, so you're ready for your performance phase. And then once you warm, that's the intro. Then you go into the performance phase. And then at the end of it, you cool down and you frame it, you wrap it in the same thought. So it's like a sandwich or something, if you want to think of it that way. Except it's working with ideas and concepts and beliefs instead of anything physical. I'm not a body, I'm free, for I'm still as perfect love extends me. Just sit with that. Let's contemplate that for a bit. Any thoughts, comments, or questions? Maybe this, but it's really just about reflecting on it and allowing what you've experienced to come. Okay. So any other thoughts or comments on this one? Nice lesson. Got the central idea, I'm not a body, I'm free. And then this particular one is trust. My companions are one with me, which is a major life lesson. If you can actually live this, then you're perceiving that life is your friend, the universe is your friend, and that essentially you're blessed. Not to say you won't ever get challenges, but this is what you'd call optimism. Trust my companions who are one with me. Okay, so isn't really any because it's so short and sweet. Isn't really any summary. It's already kind of summarized. It's very short, so we can do a meditation on this, if you like, for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we could close the session. We could do a bit of text if you want to. It is getting quite late, but there is a bit of text. Let's see, where are we? Salvation from fear. I think this one is about 12 paragraphs. 12 paragraphs, so I may not finish that, but we could do a couple of paragraphs, or we could just go into a meditation. I'm quite tired, so I wouldn't mind just doing the med and then closing it out with that. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do a meditation on this. So All right, so just making yourself comfortable, sitting with your feet shoulder width apart, your back straight. Cup your hands in your lap. Close your eyes. And start off by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. Subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. Pausing at the top of the inhale. Clench your sphincter muscle, the muscle used to lock the energy in. Draw the energy up the spine. So you lock the energy. It's a root lock in yoga. Squeeze that sphincter muscle. Muscle used to track the flow of urine. Squeeze the last drops out. Just lock it in. Breathing in. Feel this warm wave of energy rising up. This helps you. You could put one hand in your heart center just to feel the presence of your heart. Breathe into that. Just breathing in. Pause at the top of the inhale. Maximal inhale breath. Scan your mind. Any thoughts going on, particularly anything that's not happy in any way, that's not peaceful, disturbing your peace. It's difficult. And remind yourself that I am not a body. So you breathe in again. And the light of transcendent awareness, pure formless awareness, perfect love we call it, which is not a body. It's not local to a body. You can't really hold it in a body. I'm not a body. I'm free. I'm still. Means I remain and I am still in the stillness of no thought. I'm not a body, I'm free. I'm still as perfect love extends me. As God created me, whichever you prefer, but try both. So therefore I'm still as God created me. Exhale on the truth of that. So therefore I'm still as perfect love extends me. Feel that extension of loving awareness. Perfect loving awareness is used to your own true awareness. And it's extending out and through you into the world. It's what it wants to do. Extend and heal and bless. Got no agenda other than that. Agenda of perfect love, unconditional love. So I'm not a body, I'm free, for I'm still as perfect love extends me. I breathe in. Say, I trust my brothers. You are one with me. Trust my brothers, you are one with me. I trust my companions, you are one with me. Breathe in again. Inhale. Light of true awareness. Doesn't matter what anyone has done, what they've said. I trust my companions who are one with me, and breathe in the sense of oneness to every pore, every cell, every muscle, your body, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. It's in this perfect oneness. Trust my companions who are one with me. And feel that loving awareness extending into and through you. If there's anyone who comes to mind you have trust issues with, bring them to mind, hold them in mind, what they look like, what's your current feeling, and then remind yourself, trust my companions. Who are one with me in this very moment. The illusion is that they're a body, they have separate interests, separate personality, identity, separate interests, a separate life, going their separate ways. This is the illusion of this world. Everyone is only doing that. Illusion of separation. Trust my brothers or companions who are one with me. Breathing in again, say, no one, everyone is my companion. Everyone is my companion. Say that to yourself. Everyone is my companion. I'm blessed with oneness. True reality. And pure formless awareness, perfect love, my source. Feel that in your heart and your minds. So everyone is my companion. I'm blessed with oneness, with true reality. And pure formless awareness and perfect love, my source, which is the only source of the whole. That is myself, forever one with me. Feeling this blessing of oneness filling you up and reminding you that I'm not a body. I am free. My body, I am free, for I'm still as perfect love extends me. Still as perfect love extends me. And in that perfect extension, you are one with everyone, because we are all the same. Loving awareness. It extends through us. Therefore, you can trust your brothers as this perfect loving awareness. They are all the same. We are all the same. We are one in this awareness. So breathe that in to every pore, every cell, every muscle of your body, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. Remembers that you're not a body. So I'm not a body. I am free of body identification, free of body consciousness, free free for this short time. I'm not a body, I'm free. Breathe that freedom into every pore, every cell, every muscle, your body, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. I'm free in the light, true awareness. I'm still as perfect love extends me. I'm still as perfect love extends me. Say that to yourself, knowing that it's true. Knowing that means that so sinking inwards, just let self go. And she was asking us just to allow the Holy Spirit to take charge of the practice period. Let yourself go into something beyond the body. You're not identified with the body. Feel the power of these words. I'm not a body. I am free. Say them aloud to yourself. Remember and say, I am not a body. No matter what seems to be happening to my body, in my body, with my body. Just to go, nothing else to do. Nothing else to think about. You just breathe, relax, be still. Surrender into the stillness and the quietness. It's been called the peace of God that surpasses all understanding. Just go there experientially. Let yourself go into this transcendent awareness beyond the body to help you say, I'm not a body, I am free. For I'm still as perfect love extends me. For some inspiration from that. Sinking into this awareness beyond the body, into the perfect love that extends you, experience it, know that it's true. You are one with it and it is one with you. Just sinking inwards, going deeper and deeper on each breath. So the breath flowing into and out of the nostrils. Just trying to experience this freedom. And key idea of these review lessons points to. It's not a body, I'm free. Still as perfect love extends me. And then just let go and let God, this experience arise in your mind and your heart. Any thoughts come to mind seemingly block this freedom. Just observe them casually. They're like clouds. It's like clouds just drifting by in your awareness. You breathe in the light source, and you just go into the clear blue sky of your true awareness, where your freedom lies. And as you exhale, blow them away. Imagine they're just like clouds drifting away, being blown away by the breeze of your breath. And there's nothing to obscure the clear blue sky of your true awareness. Nothing at all. And then just sink in to this totally free awareness. It's free floating in this awareness. A minute or two of deep silence. Coming back. It's deep awareness into gaining awareness of the body, the breath, the senses, and the world. And on the count of three, you're going to open your eyes. One, just breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. Subtle flow of air in through the nostrils, pausing at the top of the inhale. And scan your mind. So notice any untrusting, unloving thoughts towards anyone. Remind yourself that I'm not a body. I am free. I'm still as perfect love extends me. And so I trust my companions who are one with me, irrespective of what they seem to have said or done. I trust my companions who are one with me. Blow out any untrusting, unloving thoughts, feelings, emotions, and blowing them away like a dark cloud or black smoke, just leaving you all the stomach into the spine. All the last familiar out. So count of 2, notice the weight of your body pressing down into the chair, feet touching the ground, notice what you're feeling, your hands and touching, maybe there's a subtle taste in your mouth, smell in your nose, as you breathe in, notice that. And notice what you're hearing in the surrounding environment, just noticing all these things from this very still, calm and surrendered state. State of mind without illusions, showing you the truth is true. Anchor this state in, find yourself that I'm not a body, I am free. I'm still as perfect love extends me. And breathe in to anchor the state in, your mind, your heart, your energy system is anchored in this loving awareness. So you're going to set the intention to just stay here in this beautiful, peaceful state that transcends the body for the rest of the evening and on into the weekend ahead. Remind yourself of the lesson and the wrapper idea that I'm not a body, I'm free. I'm still as perfect love extends me. If you need to stay connected to this beautiful, peaceful, loving awareness, which hopefully you've done quite deeply in the last 23 minutes or so. So now it's time to, on the count of 3, open your eyes. So just take a minute to look around. It's a very calm, clear, aware way. Noticing whatever's around you. It's very calm, clear, detached awareness. Close your eyes. Notice that awareness is still there when your eyes are closed. Open your eyes, look at any object, notice the same awareness. Look around another object, notice the same awareness. It's all the same. It's one awareness. You're training your mind to recognize that through these little mind training exercises. So just set the intention to stay in this awareness for the rest of the evening and on into your weekend until we meet again, hopefully on Sunday evening. All right, so that brings us to the end of the meditation and tonight's session. So thank you, Elaine and John. Short and sweet. Nice lesson, which we're going to repeat another 9 times. I'm not a body, I'm free. I'm still as perfect love extends me, along with the key review ideas. Plenty of time to contemplate it and ideas to use it to help you go more deeply into the transcendent awareness beyond the body. So I hope you did that a bit tonight. And yeah, I should see you on Sunday evening. We can do a session.
Thank you very much, John.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend. Good night, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste. Bye.
Bye. So that's a wrap for today. Thank you to John and Elaine for joining. And you, if you joined the live stream or you're watching a recording, thanks for doing that. Hope you found it an inspiring and peaceful way to spend some time. If you'd like to go a bit deeper, then I'm going to invite you to subscribe to the channel. So whenever I go live, which is 3 or 4 times a week, then you can get access to the live streams. Be notified by YouTube whenever I go live. So it's number one. If you want to join us in these live calls, you can go to lifepool.com. You can see the URL in the background there. Type that into your browser. Well, there's a link below in the comments box for this video. And there you can sign up to Telegram. You need to have Telegram loaded on your phone or other device and be able to then get messages. So the daily quote that I started off with, and then some teaching around that, along with the lesson from the workbook, and some text reading from the Course in Miracles text. It's all included. You get all of that along with a short mini meditation to help you practice the lesson frequently through the day, as well as a longer meditation. All of that's free for the first 3 weeks. Go to lifepool.com and check it out. So I hope to connect with you on the inside soon. To join one of the live Zoom calls. I notify you about when I go live in those Telegram messages every day. So watch that space. Give you the Zoom link. And I hope to meet you on the inside one of these sessions soon. So thanks again for watching. And namaste, which means the true self in me, and truth in me acknowledges and honors that same true self and truth in you. So much love, peace, and joy in that self.